Hey guys, welcome to my channel. If you haven't been to my channel before, my name's Elfbuggin and I basically just post drawings that I have fun with and that I'm working on. My channel is mainly about me just falling in love with art again and trying to be in a consistent drawing schedule. So for this week, I haven't posted in like a month. I've actually drawn two things. One of them was this and another drawing. I have not finished the Genshin Archons. I'm just kind of taking my time on it. But anyways, we're going to hop into this drawing for today. My iPad always overexposes stuff, but I had done this sketch. It was really stiff, but of like this little Batgirl in February because I wanted to do a drawing for Valentine's Day. And the only reason I did not finish this drawing is because I got a commission. And I was like, well, I'm getting paid for this, so I guess I should do it on time. So I had to take a break from this drawing. But this was I didn't bother showing you guys the sketch because I was going to talk about in depth how I did this job. Well, not completely in depth because I only make my videos like 15 minutes, but the stages of how I did the drawing. So the sketch, like, I was just working on the anatomy and the pose and composition, so we're just going to skip that for now. But this was the final line art. You can actually... you can't. The iPad is too exposed, but let me see here. Sketches. Okay. You can't tell because the iPad's exposed, but I'm just gonna trace over it. There is like some line art right here of the anatomy. I'm tracing over it very loosely, so it's low key way better than what I'm tracing. And sorry, that tail's not completely right, but you get it. I had drawn through the clothes to make sure that it was as accurate as possible. I was really proud of this drawing because, believe it or not, I have been pushing myself to use pose references, but kind of like create my own. Now, that doesn't mean I didn't use like any references. I used two references loosely when making these poses. Because it's always good to use a reference to get anatomy kind of right. And I'm not really happy with this section at the end of the day on the drawing, but it's fine. I'm jumping around the place. Anyways, yeah, so I used references, but I only used two, and I didn't use them that long because it's been a goal of mine to practice my poses and my gestures and make my characters more like lively. It's not something I haven't known that I needed to work on. It's more so I like to take one step at a time with things that I'm working on because I tend to like bite off way more than I can chew, and then I get surprised that the drawing's taking 32 hours to finish, you know? So through my art journey, since posting to YouTube and even a little bit before, I've been trying to hyper-focus on one thing at a time that I want to be working on in my drawings. So after I did the line art, which I was really happy with the poses, the anatomy, and the line weight, I did a gray, black, and white study, where, okay, so actually this is not what the study looked like because you can tell all the renderings on it, but imagine just the blocks of colors, because I do have that image, I just didn't put it in here for the video, I'm sorry, where it was just black and white, there was no rendering. You'll actually see in the next drawing that there was no rendering. Yes, this one. So I did a black and white study to kind of like understand the color hierarchy, and if you like don't know a whole ton about art, color hierarchy is like this color and this color is the same. So when you look at a character at its whole and you look at these, you're going to look at these shapes like as a silhouette because they're the same color, and then they bounce off of this lighter value, and obviously this lighter value because it's her skin. But then this color comes almost back right here with the cat hat. So like I'm purposely choosing what shapes and clothing pieces that I want the viewer to pay attention to when at least that's what I'm trying to work on with my drawings. Because I think in the past I've really struggled with like just almost having every value too much of it. So like imagine like you have like a light color, a medium color, and a dark color. That's not actually the colors, but you get what I'm saying. And you just evenly put them all around your drawing. Like, nobody knows what to look at, you know? But I purposely made her wings super dark. And even some of her features, like her top, I think it's the same color as this, but because it's next to dark colors, it kind of looks like kind of looks like these are making a triangle of dark colors, you know? And then I personally feel like these 3 items, you bounce around a lot too. You know, hat, dress, socks, which is nice. I did kind of struggle with the wings and the hair, because the wings were a slightly lighter color than her hair, I think. Or, no, actually, I think her hair was lighter than the wings. So, like, in the gray, the black and white study, you know, some things aren't going to look 100% accurate to when color's added, because, like, this tail and the shadow of her hair look like a very similar value. Or even, like, this, like, all these 3 look like a similar value. And that might seem like it would be boring, but, you know, there can be 2 different colors that are the same, like, on the same value scale. But I guess I'm not trying to explain it to you like you guys don't know. This is just for people who might not understand why I did this. But anyways, the stronger your value, your black and white value scale is, the stronger the colors will be. And I heard this quote a long time ago from someone that said, value does all the work and color takes all the credit. So if your value scale is really strong in your drawing, the colors are just going to harmonize almost, like, I would say 85%. Like, really, you don't have to do that much thinking after that. And then I both made their shoes dark. So I feel like the things about this drawing you're going to look at first is the darkest values, because that's how our eyes work with value. We see darker objects quicker because they jump to the forefront, if that makes sense. But I guess technically that can, if you have like a dark drawing with a few white highlights, your eyes are going to go there, because that's the least amount of color in the drawing. So I did the opposite here, where I made the dark colors the least amount. Like if we had a cup, like there's this much dark, and then if we had another cup, I put this much mid-tones. No, actually light color, the lightest colors. And then I put about like this much mid-tones. So you're going to notice the dark colors the most. I hope I explained that really well, or well enough. But I'll take off the sketch so you guys can kind of see the black and white value study a little bit more. I really wanted to keep my darker line art. I ended up changing some line arts, like I made the wing girl, the angel girl have like really light pink skin lines like this. You'll see. Oops. I'm sorry. Okay. Anyways, that's enough of the black and white value stage. Then I did what is it called? A gradient map. I did a gradient map. I've been starting to do gradient maps. So you can tell here that my value study didn't have all the shading and the lighting. This is what it looked like, but in black and white. Like, maybe I can just show you an example so you guys know that I did it. Okay, my screen is like kind of overexposing it, but that's basically what the value study looked like. It was pretty simple, to be honest. Like, I was like just trying to have slight variations. But anyways, I did a gradient map, and I chose, because it was Valentine's Day, I wanted to do a mainly, if not entirely, pink color palette. This is before, you know, I knew the end would be entirely pink. But my drawing wasn't even completely done yet at this point, like this bow and everything. But I tend to do that with my art. I'm trying to get out of that habit of where, like, I won't finish the drawing completely, and I'll just be so excited about the next stages that I'll just, like, run in and do whatever I want. Like, I was going to put gloves on this girl initially, like these translucent gloves, and low-key, it was really a vibe. I really liked it. At the end of the drawing, because this is literally where I left it off, like, when I did the line art, I didn't even draw the gloves, I really did not take into consideration what the value would look like with it. Like what I'm saying is, when I did the black and white value, I had not drawn the gloves. So clearly, if I would have, these gloves should have been like a different value of gray. But I didn't, and I suffered, because then when I did the gradient map, like, that gray would have turned into some different pink, and I would have been able to, like, toggle with it and decide what shade of pink looked the best so that the final product would look good. So rest in peace. That was a long explanation of the gloves, but yeah, that's why they didn't make it to the final cut, even though I really wanted them to. They're kind of distracting anyways, because it gets really, really busy, like right in this area of the drawing. So I genuinely think it probably would have been too much, but I think they could have done with like some jewelry. That's my critique for my drawing. But if you can tell, once again, the gradient map works really well because my value study was really good. The wings and the shoes make this triangle. And I really feel like the dress like really contrasts against the wings, hats, and this bow and the skin, you know? Because the dress is a slightly darker value than all three of these things. I think I ended up making her bow not pink. Right? Let's see here. Yeah, okay, I made her bow white. I really liked it. Okay, so here's the final drawing. Here's the final drawing. Okay, so in my drawing, I didn't have the bow. Oh, I need a different color. This is ridiculous. Okay. You guys can see that purple? Maybe I should pick a blue. Oh my goodness. I should have been prepared. Okay, I'll do blue. That's perfect. Yeah, so, in my final drawing, oh, you can't see this cool, I have this heart pattern. I don't know if you could see it in here. It's okay. If you want to see the final piece, you can just go to my Instagram or my TikTok, and you'll see everything not look blown out. Can I, like, bring up the contrast on this? This looks so bad. I'm gonna darken it just a little bit, because, yeah, because that was too light. My drawings are never accurate to color on this monitor because for some reason the iPad's overexposed. But anyways, I did a lot, as you can tell. Like, this was like a pretty big jump from the gradient map. I mean, we have lighting, we have gradients, you know, like on the skin. I always love putting gradients on the clothing. It always makes it look really nice. Like, I have a gradient right here. And I changed some of the line art, like I said, like the skin. I changed the color of the wings. The line art's not black. I made it like a dark maroon, but I also made these wings like more of a dark, I don't know, pink. Like, because technically this line is darker than this line, but I don't know if the iPad's correctly showing it. But, yeah, I knew I wasn't going to do, like, an actual setting background when I drew this. I wanted it to give, like, sticker collage. I see a lot of anime artists do stuff like this, and this was basically the aura that I wanted when I was initially just, like, literally thinking about my idea. I wanted it to look, like, scrapbooky, you know, maybe early 2000s, Initially, I actually wanted to put, like, some Polaroids behind them, and maybe, like, a pen and, like, a Tamagotchi and stuff like that, and I thought maybe the Polaroids would be cute because I could draw, like, chibi versions of them, like, interacting with each other and fighting, but I ended up not doing that because that was a lot of work, and I honestly low-key died just drawing these proportionate anime girls. I can't speak right now, but also, as you can tell, in the line art stage, I don't really plan things like this, like the frilliness, or the cute heart socks, or, let's see here, I actually didn't put any patterns on this girl. I just felt like her outfit was, like, doing a lot. Like, she had really cool shoes, and, like, she had this heart top. I put some sparkles on her, I guess, but I don't know. She just felt a little busy, and I didn't want to make her more busy than I needed to. And then I did, like, this really cool white outline around all of them, and I've been doing chromatic aberration on all my drawings. You can tell the line art through the tails right there. I forgot to delete it, but it's okay because it still looks really cool. And yeah, I really like how it turned out. I for some reason I wanted to do like more stickers. Like, I only got this sticker, and this sticker, but like, I was low-key fried by the end of this. I was like, I'm so tired. I cannot continue going on. But I love the composition. I love the, like, color choices that I chose. Like, if you're wondering why I didn't do a gradient map, which is what this is, by the way. If you're wondering why I didn't do a gradient map on the background, for some reason, once I get past this stage of drawing the anime girls, I feel a lot more confident to just like literally be like, oh, okay, I want to do this and I want to cut it in half. Like, I think it comes more intuitively to me, quicker, what I mean, when doing like details or making things look, I don't know, pretty and juicy. Like, I love doing the final highlights and everything because I don't feel as stressed out doing it. But I will zoom in so that you guys can see some of the details while I talk. But I was really inspired by like Sailor Moon and older animes. I know that the actual drawing style isn't like completely accurate to the way that they drew girls back then. But I hope that it's like kind of giving an essence of like nostalgic comic kind of, you know, anime style manga vibe. That was a lot of me talking, but you get what I'm saying. And I really, really like the way that it turned out. And it all happened because of that Batgirl sketch that I did, which I actually do want to do like a T-pose of her, like so I can do a character sheet, like a front back side kind of thing. But I just got so excited. Here's a zoom in of their faces. I got so excited drawing them that I just wanted to do a finished illustration because that's some of my favorite stuff to do is the finished illustration part. I know I didn't go into the details of like how did I do like the shading or like what did I decide was like worth making thicker line weight and all that stuff. But that's like way too much detail to go into. Like I'd probably talk for like an hour. But yeah, I really liked the way it turned out. I'm low-key super proud of this drawing. I feel like a lesson I've been learning with a lot of my drawings is that truly they get better with the more time that I put into each. And sometimes, I don't know if you guys feel this way, it can feel so like draining and exhausting working on one drawing for so long. But I really felt like I got what was worth out of this drawing by sitting down and not just accepting that that's the way that it was going to look. I don't know if you can tell here in the value study. Obviously, this is after I'd rendered it. This is what it looked like before I did the background. And I, like, had the vibes and the plans of making the background, but I was so tired, and I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, literally, I just want to clock out. Please leave me alone. But I decided to clock back in and come back to the background when I had, like, more energy and fresh eyes. And I'm so happy that I did because I love the way that it came out. I just think I learned a lesson with this drawing that, like, you just got to see it through, man. Like, if this drawing takes 2 weeks to do because you had to sit down and meticulously make sure that that gradient map, like, matched the vibe that you were going for, then, you know, go do that. And that was something that actually kept me hung up about this drawing, is that when I did the gradient map, oh my god, here it is! Oh, wait, I actually showed you earlier in the video. When I did this gradient map, there was something about it where I was like, I am dissatisfied. I was like, I feel like I can't see the vision. It was like, I couldn't tell if the values were like too close to each other, because even looking at it now, they kind of are. And I was like, should I push them more? Like, I want to throw up. This is so hard. And then when I got to this, like, gradient map, like, actually with the colors on it, I was like, okay, like, I see it, like, I see the vision, but I'm kind of tired. Like, I don't know if I want to do this. But yeah, it was really worth it. I personally know I need to work on drawing clothing some more, because I kind of struggle with, like, the 3D-ness of it. But I think moving forward, I would like to bring a lot of my drawings to this level of completion, because I'm really, really happy with the way that it came out. And I might stick to this, you know, rendering style just for a bit so I can, like, keep drawing and, you know, keep getting ideas out. Because I think I hold myself to sometimes too high of a standard where, like, I do at one point really want to learn how to render more. And a lot of my drawings do have rendering, but just not the kind of rendering I'm satisfied with right now. And for this drawing, I did, like, kind of pull it back a lot and stuck to, like, cell shading and just simple gradients. I really didn't, like, render the hair or anything like that, like, nuts or anything. So, yeah, I hope you guys like this drawing as much as I do, and I hope my yapping made sense, and that you got something from it. And if you guys want any help on maybe how to do like a value scale like study of your drawing, or how to do a gradient map, let me know in the comments below, because those things have really helped me. And thank you so much for your support. Thank you for the likes, comments, shares, all that jazz. You guys truly mean the world to me, and I hope I can do this full time someday. Thank you again, and I'll see you in the next video.